Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's MJ here, Silver Moon Tarot and Astrology. I told y'all that this was going to be a really important time, okay? This is a big, important time. And I hope you take and share this video with others. So, if you're new, welcome. Glad to have you here. Just touches my heart that you're here. You want to be a part, you want to listen to the message, okay? If you are a regular subscriber, give the video a thumbs up and share this link on this video. Really share this link, because on this video, what I'm about to say, starting at this time, is going to be very important, okay? So I also want, like I said, welcome the new newcomers. And I hope you consider joining by clicking the subscribe button. Also, clicking the bell so you'll be notified when there's uploads, new uploads. And I would love having your support. So please come on in. So you ready? I'm gonna do the astrology for this week. I want to get it done because this is really important. What's gonna be happening starting for the next, especially for the next 48 hours. Okay, it's gonna be really, really important. All right, so there we go. Okay, now let me bring this open so I can see wide on my screen. Okay, I'm working with two screens here, so I'm having to jump over one to the other. All right, so the first thing we have today is we need to talk about Mercury. Mercury has been on its retrograde. It went direct, okay, beginning of the month, and it's moving back to where it started in Virgo. I have my headset on because I want to make sure you can hear me and the sound and all that's good. Let me check something real quick. All right. Yep, I did it. Just wanted to make sure I hit the microphone back on, because sometimes my little dumb self forgets to turn the microphone on. All right, so there we're back there. Okay, now we're good. Good to go. All right, today starts a very important event that's going to occur starting this week that I'm going to talk about. We're going to go through the week, the date of the 8th through the 14th. I kind of, instead of, like I said, I was wanting to do it on a weekly thing because I think it would be more helpful than trying to put it all out in one time. So let's start. The moon, which is very important, it deals with our emotions and our intuition, right? It reflects our intuition and our emotional world. And this week, it will be traveling. Right now, it's in Scorpio, as you can see. And it will travel through Sagittarius, or transit through Sagittarius. It will transit into Capricorn, and it will transit into Aquarius on the 14th. The big thing I noticed here is that when it moves into Capricorn, all right, or when it gets into Sagittarius, it's going to sextile Pluto. Remember that sextiles represent where it shows an opportunity for productivity and success. And what is it sextiling? It's sextiling Pluto. And there's energy being influenced into Pluto as well from Uranus and Neptune. So this is really important, that this ascension, what is coming up and what is happening today on this day, is really going to be important and transformational. But I got to throw a caution here. There's a but here. You have to be emotionally aware and pick up whatever your intuition is trying to show you, or the sense that you're getting. Some of you may have heard that today is this portal that's going to open for the next 48 hours. And it is the portal of rebirth and transformation. And it begins when that moon in Sagittarius starts to sextile Pluto. Because of the energy that is coming from the ascending, it's for you to take action. Okay? Because if you look and you see in this chart, shoot, gotta get the thing here. I'm reaching for the wrong thing. Nothing new there. You can see that the ascending right here is in a trine with the moon. So something with the moon in its house of rulership and the ascending being there, that something is rising. It was rising at early in the morning hours in my time. I don't have universal time up here, but you can take my time of what time this was. It was at 2:51 a.m. in the early morning hours. So you can take that time and take away 4 hours to your time. And what it was doing, there was a sextile from the ascending that went over to Uranus, which is trine Pluto. And it's also sextiling Neptune. Neptune, again, is trying the trine from the moon, feeding into this, into your dreams, into your intuition. There's going to be a change. And it's going, and look at the trine that's coming off of Mercury, sending over to the lot of fortune. And remember what I said in the other videos is that the lot of fortune deals with it's a mathematical calculation of the ascending, the sun, and the moon. And it's letting you know that it's a mathematical calculation of something that's coming that's going to bring an awareness in that's going to affect how you feel. And so that sextile from here into your dreams and your imagination is being fed here to go into a transformation, a rebirth. This is the last time that Pluto is going to be here in Capricorn for a lifetime, for a lot of our lifetime. We won't see it again. Generations later on, we'll see it. And they may, other astrologers may relate back to this time, the future ones, of when this happened, for our time, that when things changed. This is a big time for the next 48 hours for you to take back your power and take back your life and change. Only you can change. There's something with the moon and with the sun being the self and the ego, your own identity. You're able to rebirth, change. And I know it's going to happen to me. It's already been happening. And it happens through the challenges that we have faced for years. And how we handled them. Did you face them or did you run from them? So for the next 48 hours, this is the greatest opportunity for you to take your power back. and change who you are, your identity. And Mercury is involved in this too, because Mercury is now direct. And what the importance of here is when this moon sextiles Pluto today, it's time for you to let go of ego and pride and all those things and let whatever was before, the years before that you struggled, it's time now to say, I'm taking my power back. That doesn't define me in my identity of who I am. I'm going to fulfill my dreams of what I want to go and what I want to plant seeds or my intentions from here on out. We always talk about, you hear about the first quarter of the moon, okay? That's going to happen on the 11th, that we're going to plant that seed. And this is the time you set the intentions, okay, of where you go. This is why that is so important about planting the seeds and your intention. How do you set these intentions if you're going to continue to live in the past and let that define you? It's time to release it, let it go. Because its energy is feeding all into Pluto, because the moon is going to conjunct with Pluto. I got a little caution here, and I want you to understand this, that I don't think a lot of people are saying about this and how important this is for the next 48 hours when this moon comes in this conjunction after it has sextiled Pluto, and how you can rebirth and regenerate and transform your life. The moon, when it first enters into Capricorn, and while it's there, it is in opposition to the sign that it rules. Okay? Something as big is going to happen here that you're going to need to stand up and take the action that needs to be taken in your life to become a whole new you, to release all those things from the past, to connect with the divine. With me, it's with my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That he didn't create me to be a slave to anything other, and not even really a slave to him, but to accept him and love him and know that whatever it is for my life, he's doing it for my good because he loves me. He loves all of us. Each one of us was created in his image. He gives us the authority to define who we want to be. It's your choice who you're going to make that out of. When you set your intentions, it's your choice of what your intentions are. You can follow in his light and go down the path that you need to go, that you need to travel, but you won't be traveling alone. Now, I don't want to get on the preacher pole footstep here, but, I'm going to let you know that when that moon comes into Capricorn and it's opposite its house of rulership, it's going to be in detriment. What do I mean by detriment? It means it's going to be weak emotionally. It's going to be negative. It's going to feel repressed. These are things you're going to feel. Like, what can I do, MJ, to make any difference? Transform your life, change your life. What are your dreams? Do not let anyone hold you back from what you want to see for your future. And I'm saying this to a lot of younger people. Now, what I want to say also, when the moon in Sagittarius, this is the most important part. When the moon enters Sagittarius and it sextiles with Pluto, there is an opportunity here to be productively and successful. But you got to awaken the consciousness and activate it. Become aware of what your intentions are or what you may be facing that you have to stand up and face that challenge of whatever it is and say, I'm not taking it anymore. I have my own power. I'm my own person. Now, the best thing I can relate this to is when a child wants to defy or disrespect a parent. And I never encourage to disrespect your parents, ever. It's when a child says, it's the way that a child would communicate with a parent to disrespect them and say, well, I don't want to do what you want me to do. I want to do what I want to do. There needs to be a conversation, sure, that something's changing, but to have an honest conversation to make the change where there's still respect given to each and other person. That's the biggest thing, is to respect the others that you're communicating with and what maybe your intentions may be. This is what's for me. I know it's like my parents, I love you and I know you love me, but this is the best thing for you and me. When you grow up and you go to college or you get into a career or something like that, okay, there's got to be respect shown. It's my wish. And you've got to let your parents know, I wish you would respect me for that. There's a lot of children that's going through things right now that is being thrown at them that their minds are not capable of understanding. They don't have the knowledge. They don't have the awareness. They don't have how cruel the world can be. They haven't had many challenges in their life that are of importance that they have to learn to stand and face those things, those challenges. The hardest thing for me in my life was with my father. No one stood up against my father. No one. But I had to say, Dad, I'm a grown woman. I have a child. And I have to learn to fix things on my own. I can't run to you every time there's a problem thinking you're going to fix it for me. Please respect that. And that he respected me more than anything because of what I said. I was willing to take on the challenges and face them and try to solve them. But I was also willing to discuss it with him of what I had planned to do. So that's why this is important. And a lot of people's going to miss this because they're not going to understand. And that's why I say, share this video with those that you know that are struggling to understand of how important this time right now is. Because it's not going to happen again till September 2025. They're going to go a whole nother year. And you will go a whole nother year. If you're not willing to change your life, quit living in the past, quit blaming everybody for your downfall. Because you gave them your power to tell you can't do that. That is when you become weak and negative and repressed. When you allow others to tell you you can't live that dream. There's people out there that do it all the time. You can't do this, you can't do that. My thing is that watch me. Watch me. I have defeated people with higher educations than me. They had their degrees on their wall. Tell me, oh, you can't do this. Watch me. And I did it. I had my plan that God told me, you don't stop because I'm leading you that direction. This is your time to change your life before that first quarter of the moon. And this is what's important about this, is for you to be aware of what seed you are planting here and what intentions you have for yourself in the future. Now, your spouse or your loved ones, they may have theirs. Fine. I wish them the best of luck in the world. I hope it works out for you. I will pray that everything works out for you. But this is important, and it's really important because that Mercury had the opportunity going retrograde to get you to reassess something here. Remember what I said about the retrogrades? To reassess something about your daily routines and your daily life and your health and all these other things. For you to change it. Change you. Don't worry about changing somebody else. Worry about changing you. Worry about fulfilling your dreams and what your imagination wants to create and what you want to show to the world. Walk out, hold your head up high, and say, I can do this. I can do this. Whatever it may be, don't let anybody tell you. Yeah, you may stumble, then the retrogrades will come back and say, I'm here to help you. What step did you miss? These planets are a way of God giving us messages of what he's trying to tell us. And this one is one of the most powerful ones that we only get once a year to realize something here and awaken the consciousness to be productive and successful. That's what he wants for you. He loves you so much that that's what he wants for you. And it's time to connect with that higher spirit and say, Lord, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, I want to be released from the chains. I want these chains to be broken off. I want to be free to be who I am. I want to be free to explore what dreams and imagination I have and where it leads me. Some of you may want to start a podcast. Some of you may want to learn astrology. Some of you may want to learn tarot. Some of you may want to do this or that. But like I said, my tarot is completely different. I look at the planets. I look at the signs. I look at the degrees. And if you are consciously aware of what's going on in the world, instead of closing it out like it's, oh, I don't want to listen to all that, and it's so negative, and I don't want this. I'm tired of the election, all this stuff going on. I want it to be over with, just like everybody else. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's get moving. I'm, excited to what there is for me and what I can do. That's why I'm coming back. Because I'm different. I've changed. This is a very good time, and don't let it pass you up. It's the time for you to heal thyself, because God gave us the power to change, to transform, to be born again, and live in that new beginning, to gain things in life that we want. Not to say it's just going to be given to you. You got to work for it. You got to, make those little paths you got to go down. But when you connect to that higher being and you have that communication into the spirit that's within you with him, because as he said, whatever you pray for in my name will be granted. And if it's not granted and you don't understand why, then look at yourself in the mirror. What are you doing? That's the one thing I want to say. When that moon gets in conjunct with Pluto, okay, which it will, and you'll see it in astrology, because I'll be telling you when it goes conjunct. We'll be talking about it for this week and these major things that are going to happen. There is an awareness of the reality of something that you can do in your life. And I will tell you when that comes in, don't be weak. Don't think negatively. Don't feel negatively. Don't hold back your emotions. Don't repress yourself from something here. Change it. Know what you're going to, what seeds you, and what intentions you're going to plant at this first quarter of the moon. And then it will go into Aquarius. Because then we will go into Pisces, where it will be a partial lunar eclipse. And I'll let you know when that happens. We'll talk about it. That won't be till the week of the 15th to the 21st that we'll have the full moon in Pisces lunar eclipse. Okay? So, now that we know where the moon's going and its impact, let's move further. All right. I gotta change my cursor. All right, we have Mercury in the early morning hours, again at 2:51, that it's entered Virgo now. We talked about that. What is Virgo? Virgo is an analysis. We analyze things in our daily routines. You get a list of to do things, look at it and say, okay, what's the most important thing? You look at all those things and analyze what you're gonna do for this day at this time. What's awareness to you? How you need to get this balance in your life, because the sun is there and it's in opposition to Saturn. What is holding you back from doing what you need to do? It's an opportunity, the sun being in opposition, that I'm not going to be limited to what I want to do. Only thing that's limiting me is me. And you, the only thing that's limiting you is you. Bring that balance in. You have a chance to have the victory here, because you're going to awaken. And what is it? I've told y'all before. What is Mercury? It's communications. It's thought. It's the consciousness, the unconsciousness, and the subconscious. And what are you going to be waking right now? The consciousness, being aware of who you are and what you want to do and where you want to go. And now it's like you're going to change things. You had a time to reset the mind, the thoughts, the communication. How am I going to communicate something here? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Your mind is like, it's getting all this stuff during this portal of the consciousness being aware, activating it. If you activate it, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of your world, be aware of the people that are around you, It's time for you to break all that down and activate the mind. Activate that consciousness. This is it. And what we have here is we have a yod. Again, like I told you, energy from the ascending, from the moon, what you feel, sextiling Uranus, sextiling Neptune, sextiling Pluto. Now, in Vedic astrology, they don't use Uranus, they don't use Neptune, and they don't use Pluto. These are the three that I call the interpersonal planets. And what they do is where our consciousness goes beyond our limits of personal identity. The identity is the sun, correct? It's opposite Saturn. Don't limit your identity and of who you are. Get rid of the pride, get rid of the ego, release it. Because pride and ego will hold you back in life. But it's time to change all that. But in Western astrology, we use Uranus, we use Neptune, we use Pluto. Those are the interpersonal planets. Saturn and Jupiter is our social planet. It's how we relate to the world outside of us. Where I could walk out this door and I'm out in the world. And how do I relate to it? I don't care what anybody else is doing. It's in my world. How I'm relating to it. I can be polite. I can be nice. I can be gracious. I can be respectful. And when I don't get the same in return, I'm capable of walking away. I don't need to be around somebody like that. I don't need to be around somebody who thinks they can identify who I am. They don't even know me. And even if they do know me, they don't know me well enough, or they haven't taken the time. They do know. The ones who know me well enough will say, she respects everybody. She helps anybody she can help. She's a giver, whether she gets anything back from it or not. Those are the people who really know me. And usually, like my mom always said, those people you can count on one hand and still have fingers left over. So remember, there's something about your dream and your intuition or your imagination is feeding over to Pluto. It's saying, this is it. This is the time of the portal for you to transform, take your power back, face whatever it is you need to face, and say, don't define me. It's not who I am. No one controls me. Only I control me. And where this is sitting at is in the decant of the sun. Where's the sun at in Virgo? It's for you to sit there and look at your identity and your ego and in opposition to Saturn of what you are allowing to limit yourself or control you. What you're allowing others to say, you need to believe this, you need to believe that. No, do your own research. Learn for yourself. How do you think I did a lot of things that I did in my life is because I took on and said, I'm not going to have somebody tell me I can't learn this or I can't do this. The only person that can tell me that is me. And if I want to learn it and I'm really interested in it and I want to know more, I'll do my own research. And I'm not going to just get one. I'm going to study everything I can about it. Now, as if my mind retains it, is one thing, or sometimes it can be over. But also, what is the next one in the term belt is in Mars. Where is that ascending at? It came past Mars. So it's somewhere in here that says you need to take, because what is Mars? Mars is about our drive and ambition. And if you have drive and ambition, it's time for you to awaken your consciousness and say, these are my intentions. Awaken. This is an opportunity for productivity and success, but it won't happen if you don't become aware. Only you can stop you and stop your mind from being awakened and awaken the consciousness. And if something's coming up from the subconscious, don't run from it, because Mars is either you're going to stand your ground and you're going to fight it, or either you're going to run from it. Don't run. Whatever challenge may be, I'll take it on. I'm going to face it. Because you do have a couple of challenges here. You've got a T-square with the sun. And where is it T-square? And it's T-square in Jupiter. What is Jupiter? Jupiter is the expansion and growth. And it also deals with luck. This is your lucky day for the next 48 hours. And where is it sitting at in Gemini? What rules Gemini? Mercury. It's time for you, when Mercury starts to act here, is to how you want to be identified. Just to say, this is who I am. I don't identify to what you think I am. And what is it in? Where's the sun at? It's in Venus. In the term belt and the decant in Venus. Coming up my birthday. I'm in this second decant. This is where you can gain. What is Venus? Venus is where you can gain things. It's love and beauty and your values. You may change some of your values. It's totally up to you. You may not feel the same way you felt 7 years ago. But I'm going to tell you something. There is nobody who changes overnight, and there's nobody who changes in 3 months or a month. It takes the challenges you've gone through to get you to change. And it gradually begins to show, like a flower when it comes up out of the ground, and then it begins to bloom. I tell you what, if anybody tells you, oh, I'm changed over, yeah. No, not when last week you saw them doing something else. That person ain't changed their values. That was the one thing that hit me in this election thing with Kamala Harris, is that she says she's changed her values. No, you haven't. Because I do follow politics. I do watch people. That's something that's been instilled with me in a small, young age. My mother ran a beauty shop. My father ran a bar and a dinner club. And I was little, and I couldn't stay home by myself. So they took me with them to their jobs, and I sat where they told me to sit. And boy, they watched over me real good. And other people watched over me too, because they respected my parents, watched out for me. But I would sit and watch these people. And I learned from them. I'm like, I don't want to do that right there. That ain't right over there. I had my parents' values that they instilled in me. Did I grow up on them? Yes. I knew the difference between right and wrong. But this is about expansion. But where is it sitting at? It's sitting in Gemini. And it being in Gemini, it's in detriment as well. That's why there's a challenge here. It's challenging you to expand your thoughts. your identity of who you are, how you communicate, how you receive information. Do you believe it or not? Are you willing to just take someone's word for something? Don't ever do that. That will follow you down or lead you down the wrong path every time. This is where, again, the detriment, the weakness, negative, and the repressed. I'm telling you, don't waste this opportunity. Face this challenge. Because it's going between Jupiter and Saturn. Now, in Vedic astrology, they'll be using these two as the interpersonal planets that are influencing the eternal planets. Your emotions, your thoughts, your communication, your gain, your loss, your money, your love, the beauty of the world, and your actions. Trying to control you, trying to limit you. It's out there. And if you pick up on the little details of what you get, the propaganda that's all out there, don't do it. Don't believe it. Do not let yourself be controlled. You were born at the time of your birth that you had gifts. You didn't know what they were. Sometimes it takes almost a lifetime to realize our gifts. Mine was shyness. Do I look shy to you today? No. I don't keep myself closed in anymore to what I think and what I feel and what I say. I express them. No one has that right to take that away from me. I had to overcome the shyness that I had. And it started happening for me years ago in my 30s. And it's from that time of in my early 30s to now me getting close at 65 that through the years I have really been changing. 5 what is that? Five decades? No, it made me 80. 2 decades. Yeah. 20 years. Over 20 years it's taken me. All of a sudden my math just went gone. Usually I would have spit that out just like that. But all of a sudden it left me. It's gone. Or I mean, it'd be 30 years. Oh yeah, 30 years. 3 decades. But it started in my early 30s. Because all of a sudden I started speaking out and saying, nah, I have my own voice. I have my own thoughts. I have my own ideals. Do you? Are you going to let someone take your power away? Nah. And you got another T square. Like I said, don't be weak. Don't be negative. Expand your communications. Talk to people you've never talked to before. You may gain some wisdom, especially with older people. Talk to the little children. I love talking to little kids. I love to hear them tell stories and their little minds. And somewhere along the way, I don't know what happens, but don't let anybody take your kids' dreams and imaginations away. Never. And don't you do it as a parent. Don't ask your kids to live your dreams or fulfill your dreams in your imagination. Okay? Let them do their own. Support them. Encourage them of what they can become and who they can become. Don't limit it and don't let anybody else do it either. Now, where is this Mars? Where is Jupiter sitting at? It's in the decant of Mars, and it's in the term of Mars. It's time to take the action. And it's in the domicile of Mercury. So it's being influenced to expand, to grow. Don't be repressing yourself, holding back. I don't want anybody to know my ideals. If I tell them my ideals, no, I share information. Like I said, if I learn something, I want others to learn it too. I want to see other people grow, expand in their horizons, see what they can do. I love it. I don't want to limit anybody. The next T square we have has to deal with Mercury. Like I said, here's Jupiter in Mercury's domicile. This moon is in opposition to Uranus. And why is it in opposition to Uranus? Because the moon is in a fall when it's in Scorpio. Because it's opposite its house of exaltation. It's exalted there. Our emotions are just exalted there. But it will be a time when the moon gets over there, comes in conjunction with Uranus. After that lunar eclipse, that something partially is going to be removed out of our emotions and released and let go. Think of that 8 of Cups where, part of it's being dropped, being thrown in the trash. That's where you're releasing something. Those emotional baggage that you've been carrying, your ego, your pride, all this, these negative energies. Let it go. I'm smoking, y'all. Y'all going to have to excuse me. This is going to be long, I guess. So it's in a fall right now. But it's changing today. And it's all trying to feed into you about this negative energy, trying to repress what you feel. Trying to silence you. And where's the moon at this time? In the decant of Venus. There's a gain here. Do not limit yourself. Look at this of what's going to come, because the moon is prepared for something here to release. Partially. It's going to let go of something. And it'll just let it go into the ether. Just let it go. Let it evaporate. Doesn't matter anymore. Whatever you felt repressed, wherever you felt like, I can't do this or I can't do that, let it go. You have a mind of your own. Do not let anybody control how you communicate or how you think. And don't let anybody tell you how you should think. You've got your own conscious awareness of your environment and what's out there and who you are. You do that, you're just a slave. You're just enslaving yourself. You can spend the next several years blaming everybody for all the other stuff. The next thing you have, again, is you have a kite. Like I said, it all started with the yod. God was trying to point you in a direction. Mm. He was trying to show us from the planets that something here is going to change. He's trying to tell you, you need to change. You need to transform. You need to release the baggage. This is what is known as a kite. Okay. Again, there's that opposition to Uranus. Don't be afraid for change. Embrace it. Be part of it, the change. The moon is trying the ascending. What's coming up? What's going to be happening? What's on the horizon? Also trying Neptune, your dreams, your imagination. And it's all from Uranus in this opposition of the moon because it's weak. Don't be emotionally weak. It's not the time for it. Don't let something here hold you back. Let go if it's secrets, if it's stuff that needs to be handled, it needs to be taken care of, that you don't want to do it, do it. Because it's the time of healing. If you want to heal, this is the time to heal. You will gain. You will not be limited anymore. Nothing can hold you back. Because there's the opportunities. And these are sextiles. What did I say about sextiles? Awakening the consciousness, productivity, success. Only you can stop you by not embracing the change, by not cutting out things that no longer serve you. You're not a yes man. You're not a yes woman. You've got your own power, your own authority. Don't let people tell you how you ought to think or how you ought to speak. If you're going to college, stand up to those professors and say, I don't agree with you. Now, if you want to have a debate on that, let's do it. Because my values are just as important. And I choose not to believe the same things you do. And here's why I choose not to. I will show you respect. But you need to respect me as well. A teacher is to teach. A teacher is to give you all the information so you can decide for yourself. Remember Jesus Christ, they used to call him teacher. That he was showing them all the ways of the people, how you can be free. That's what he was telling them. He was telling the people, you are not slaves. You're enslaving yourself. You know, when they asked him about, oh, we gotta pay these taxes to the Romans and all this, and he looked at the coin and he was looking at it. And when he said, this money here is enslaving you. It belongs to Rome. Give it back to them. Who's printing the money? The government. Right? Do not let money become a part of enslaving you. If you were given a seed, which you will be, to plant, or seeds that you want to plant, And you took those seeds and you tilled the ground up and you nurtured it and you loved it and you did all the things it needed to do. You attended to it every day. Then all of a sudden the garden grows and you can feed yourself. Right? And you can take from that garden the seeds from it, of the plant, and put it back for the next season. Do not rely on something else here. So I'm just saying, this is where we're heading into this change. And it's time to rebel against the norm. There's a rebellion happening as well. And some of it's not good. And I say to women who talk about abortion and, you know, it's my body, it's my right. Yeah, it's your body, it's your right. You're right. So what did you think about that before you got pregnant? I used to tell my daughter when she's growing up, you get pregnant, don't think I'm going to raise that child. You're the mama. I'm the grandmama. You better think. And she didn't. She thought about it. I always required my children to think before they did something. Think before you speak. Think before you act. Is this the right thing you want to do? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you to think. You got a mind? Now, this is where we come in at right now. I don't know what time it is right now. I don't have let me look at this real quick. I'm just gonna flip it for a minute and see the actual time. Okay. It's 12:47 here right now. So I'm looking at Pluto here when the moon sextiles Pluto, and it's at 1:12. So it's getting ready. It's sextiling now, and it's getting ready to move into Sagittarius. And on the 11th, it's giving you 2 days here to prepare to what are your intentions? What seeds are you going to plant in this lunar cycle? What are you going to let go of? What are you going to release? It's time for you to explore something here because the ruler of Sagittarius is sitting over in Gemini. What actions are you going to take? Because it's all about Mars. And then as this moves, it's going to go the Sun and Saturn. I give you a heads up. Just let you know. Jupiter will be going retrograde. It'll go stationary first because all planets go stationary before they go retrograde. But it will begin the process on October the 9th. We're a month away from that now. And where's Jupiter going to be at? He's going to still be in Gemini. So it's going back to a certain degree. That's October. And Jupiter will not go direct until sometime next year. So it'll be in June. I don't know exactly when it's going to go back. I mean, I could look it up real quick, but um, it'll go at 21 degrees. 21 degrees and 20 minutes in, it will go retrograde. It will start being stationary on the 7th. And it'll be actually the 12th that it starts moving retrograde and going back. So note that time when it goes stationary next month, October. We'll talk about it and where it's going back to. I can tell you right quick. Let's see. I can't leave this while I'm doing this. Jupiter. All right. Go down to 2024. Go retrograde. Oh, that's 2023. That can't be right. Okay. All right. It's going back. Now, my belief is, and I'm just sharing this with you guys, it's going to go back to the time of 11 degrees and 16 minutes in. That's where it's going to go stationary and then it's going to go direct. That will be next year. And it's my belief that when a planet goes retrograde, it goes back to a certain moment in time to address something of where it was at. And I'm not quite sure because it's going to go direct in February of 2020, February the 4th. It'll go stationary and then direct. But I'm looking at areas where it was at that degrees before. And I don't have it. Let me look at the other chart here. I can go back in time when it was 11 degrees and what? 16 minutes in? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. So it's going back to a time between July the 15th and July the 16th. What happened in that 24-hour period? Now, this is the way I look at retrograde. If it's going back to them, what are you reassessing to happen between the time it goes stationary and then it begins to go retrograde, that you're going back to through some things? It's like experiences maybe you've had, things that have happened. So think back to when of that time, if you can, of in that 24-hour period. It's on a Monday and a Tuesday of July 2024, 15th and the 16th, that Jupiter was at that degree. It's time for you on that time to review, reconsider, reorganize, restructure, and reconcile something before it begins to move on. Because it will enter Cancer in June of 2025, June the 9th. Wow. There's something now that's really about this portal that's opening up the 9th. Think about it. So I just gave you a date. I hope you write them down. Like I said, share this video to people you know. All right, now, like I said, the moon is sextiling Pluto. It knows here that, hey, it's time to activate the consciousness about when this was back at 29 degrees. And there was a lot of talk about this at 29 degrees. So I'm not going to dabble back into that time era, but you may know that something with the government and all that kind of stuff, because these are Capricorn deals with structures, okay? Institutes, authority figures, all these things, you know, our bosses. Boss is an authority figure, right? Our governments, authority, right? Institutes, colleges, they have rules, regulations, right? So we're going back to that period of time when Pluto was already there at one time, and we're going to wake up our mind. There's going to be an awakening of the consciousness. I'm not talking about, we've been in woke cancel culture for too damn long. And it's time to wake up your own daggum consciousness and say, hey, I don't need you to tell me that I need to accept this or accept that, because I don't. I have my own values. You got yours, I got mine. Respect mine. And I will respect yours. But when you throw it at me and say, I have to take it and swallow it, no, I don't. Sorry. I don't have to go with the program. I have my own program. Now, another thing, y'all might be seeing this up here and probably wondering what that all about is. The day is ruled by the moon. This is Monday, right? Moon rose Monday. So this is real important with this moon. There's something about it's coming up. It's at 29 degrees, 53. Look at Pluto, 29 degrees, 52. Boy, they're sextiling each other. Moon's already starting to feel it, that we need to let go. It's time to set those new intentions, plant those new seeds. Time for transformation. It's time to take your power back. And the ascending, what's coming up has to do with Jupiter and healing. Because what is sextiling Jupiter? Chiron. And it's in retrograde. What do you need to heal? Yourself. You can't heal nobody else except yourself. I mean, you could if you were a doctor or something like that. But, God gave us the ability to heal ourselves by opening up our conscious mind and becoming aware of what is it we hold in the subconscious that we're afraid to face. And it's something in your own identity with the sun here. Whoops, sorry about that. A different graph. With the sun here squaring Jupiter. Your own identity. Why are you so negative? Why is there so much negativity? And look at the number there. It's about healing. It's about completion and healing. Putting in the work to heal those old wounds. And the way you heal them is you let them go. If you carry them with you, that's like carrying dirty laundry in a suitcase. It ain't never going to get clean till you take it out and you wash your linen. Okay? Wash your clothes. Wash yourself. Just wash it off. Get rid of it. If you're going to blame your ex for everything that's going wrong in life now, and they're not in the picture and haven't been in the picture, then what does that tell you? It's a sin that you need to release and let go of. Quit blaming everybody else for things that aren't even in the picture, that have no power over you. And if you're going to blame an ex that you so done you so dirty and so wrong, and they're with somebody else, why are you jealous because they're with somebody else? That's her problem or his problem. You know, I love watching guys nowadays because they know with certain women that have used them and abused them and done them wrong, they are consciously waking up to it. And they're letting those people go. Yeah, you may, the package may look good on the outside, but boy, what's inside that? Nope, I don't want it anymore. Nuh-uh. I'm not gonna pay to get your hair done. I'm not gonna pay to get your nails done. I'm not gonna buy you these shoes. I'm not gonna do this and do that. Not when you're working a job. You better go get a job. You better go get an education. And a guy would probably respect you a lot more if you wanted to go get a education and probably help you pay for that if you need to see you expand and grow. That's when somebody really cares about you and where you're headed. But if you got a job and you think the man's supposed to pay for your nails, your pocketbook, your shoes, you're this, you're that, pay for every dinner, whatever, and you're working, but you think he's supposed to do it all, let me tell you about something, darling. Times are hard. And if you want to say woman power, well, here's the check, honey. Pick it up. So I love it when I see guys saying, taking this garbage anymore. You got a job? You know? So, I mean, don't get yourself caught into this trapeze or trapezoid is what I call it. It starts out with a trap. So what does that tell you? It's where you sit in a place that feels so comfortable that you're not allowing yourself to experience change that can forever alter your life. You're not looking at the opportunities here, the sextiles. 1, 2, 3. And what are they all going to? All those interpersonal planets that are pushing you and your consciousness beyond the limits of your own personal identity. For you to see something here, get out of the comfort zone, get in the game. Because God is showing you something. You've got dreams, you've got an imagination, use it. Analyze what it is you really want to do here. What is it you really dream for? You want that dream relationship? Do you want that dream job? Do you want that dream self-employment, self-efficiency? Go for it. Unlock the consciousness. Be productive. Go to mentors that can help you and lead you in a right direction. This is your opportunity to fulfill those dreams. Get that what you need. Find the person that can help you. Because right now, we got the South Node conjunct to the mean Lilith. And I told y'all what that is to me. Give me a minute. Windowed. Oh, I'm hiding my sources. I see podcasts out there, and I see people that are, really doing a great job. I listen to a lot of different podcasts. I don't listen to those that just want to throw out negative crap. Um, not without something to back that up. I don't know if it's on this. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. All right, let's go over these two right here. First thing I want to show is the mean Lilith. Now, I use it differently, okay? I use the ones that deal with the personal. When you're talking about the true nodes, you're talking about locations or this or that or the black moon, something that's hidden you don't see. When I talk about the mean nodes, it's about your past, something personal in your past, something personal to your future. When I talk about the mean Lilith, this is something where you're taking back the power. So let's look at what this Lilith represents here. All right. Lilith has something with the black moon. This Lilith is connected to your inner shadow, but also the areas where you put your foot down and set boundaries and express anger. If something upsets you, say, this makes me angry. Also relates to your authority, your sensuality, and your sexuality. To openly resist or refuse to obey something. Do you get it? Let that sink in. If you have to, rewind, do it again, listen to it. Okay? And the next one has to do with that south node. And this is what one represents the future and one represents the past. Something you need to let go of. If you want to gain something, you've got to let something go, right? All right, when here, the mean nodes. These nodes are symbols of an individual's life path, personal growth, and karmic lessons. That's what the south node is. Karmic lessons, and the future deals with the past they're going towards and those lessons you're going to learn. Your own personal growth. By going through those things of the past, those karmic lessons, and letting them go, because you should have already learned from them, you should gain the knowledge of where you want to go, your life path. Everybody's asking, well, I don't know where it goes. And your personal growth. That's the north node, your life path and your personal growth. South node is your karmic lessons that you needed to learn. And that's why planets go retrograde. That's why we see them. And that's why it's talked about being retrograde. Those are the lessons that we need to learn. Review, reconsider, reorganize, reconstruct, and then reconcile with it and saying, okay, I'm done with it now. I've been through all of it. I don't want to keep bringing it up. And where this is saying here is being able to be productive, and you're being somewhat, some people are just not doing it. It's like, don't fight it because it's inconjunct. Mercury is not conjunct. It's pushing you, this Neptune and Pluto, to transform your imagination, your dreams, whatever. And it's going straight to Mercury and say, now it's time for you to analyze your future, your path that you're going to be going on in life and your personal growth. Leave the negativity out. Heal from those lessons that you needed to learn. This is how God talks to us. That's why it's called the Yod. Y-O-D. The finger of God's trying to show you something. It's in your consciousness for you to become aware of something. You are holding yourself back. And Mercury is going to go through Virgo, which is what? Analyzing. How you communicate. How you think. Are you living with the subconscious? Or are you living with the consciousness awareness that you're doing it? Old habits. I know a lot of people that's not consciously aware. Some of them I can, honestly, there are some of them that's so far down, I can't even say they're woke. They're not woke and they're not awakened. They don't even know when they're being canceled. They don't even care. I mean, they don't even know what wokeism is. To me, wokeism is when you start living in these subconscious things you keep dreading back up, these old habits, these old things, and throwing it out there. Oh, I blame that person because my life is so shitty. That's wokeism. I'd rather live in the conscious world in reality that I can change my life into a better way. I don't need a therapist to do that. I know what I'm doing. And if you're awakened, you will know what you're doing. If you're woke, then get out of your subconscious in this dark hole and clean that clutter out. Clean yourself up, wash your dirty laundry, put it on the line, let it go, and start living in the conscious world. Look at your own identity before you start pointing fingers at others. Okay? Now, some of y'all might say, well, you're doing that. No, I'm not. It's what I'm living. It's what I'm seeing. I'm just bringing an awareness to you of what I'm seeing out there. We all know, and we've all been told through science, there's different levels of consciousness. What level are you on? I haven't done your battles. You ain't been in mine. I haven't had to deal with your challenges, and you ain't had to deal with mine. I've faced my demons. Have you faced yours? And I wasn't afraid to face them. I'm 65 years old. Okay, I will be next week. So, great. This is the time. Like I said, this is the week for the next 48 hours that this portal is going to open up for you to ascend to that next level. Are you going to take the challenge? Are you going to analyze things and say, I decided to change? I want to set my intentions for something better. I'm tired of that back there. I've learned those lessons. I don't want to keep repeating the same lesson. That's like going to school and you keep failing the test and you have to keep taking it again and again and again. How many times do you have to take the same test? How many times do you have to go through the same challenge where you say, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done with it. And I have been saying that and not even aware that this is what I'm doing. And now I'm now knowing that, yeah, I am showing the consciousness awakening that I don't want to take those tests anymore. I'm done with them. Don't bring me the same thing. And like I said, these things with the stars and the planets and all this there, I mean, there's so much there. I can only give you a general astrology because I don't know what's in your chart. I don't know where all the stars were at. There's so much out there to learn that we never know it all. And if anybody tells you or makes you think that they know it all, do you know what we call a know-it-all? Okay. Now we've got a T-square here on this day as well. Goes back again to the moon, conjunct with the ascending. Something emotional's coming up. Wonder what it is. Coming out of Scorpio. But there's something that's rising in you. I wonder if something with the transformation, are you starting to feel it? And it's going over to Mercury. Are you awakening your conscious mind? Is it becoming aware that change is coming? Are you going to cut the head off of the evil? You know, Agora, that's the one that was Perseus. You know, he went. He cut the head off Medusa, used it as the weapon to kill the demon, the thing coming out of the sea, the monster, the Kraken, as they called it. We heard Sidney Powell's years ago, back in, what is this, 4 years ago, was, talking about the Kraken. She was going to release it. Well, what happened? She forgot to get the head of the snake. She forgot to go cut the head off the Medusa. She forgot to bring it all out. It's something that she wasn't doing. You know, that's why I said some people better watch what they say. You know, it was Neptune that controlled the underworld. Did she consider herself Neptune? She was going to release the Kraken? To destroy the innocents? Bad choice of words, wasn't it? Now, what you think about it, it's kind of a bad choice of words, isn't it? I'd rather been Perseus on that winged horse and facing that Medusa and outsmarting her and getting rid of her and then going after the Crackling. How about that? She didn't stop and think what she was saying. But there is change that's going to happen. There's something that's going to definitely be cut out here. Is it a rebellion? Possibly. Because where this Uranus is at is in the third decan of Taurus, almost near this end. But I look at the number that it is, it's something with the hand of God. Been seeing a lot of yods. I sure have, over the past few months. And what is the finger attached to? It's attached to the hand. As Moses said, told the ruler. I know what he's called, but it's just off of my head. I've got too much running around in there. He told the Pharaoh, "Let my people go." And is that what God is telling him to? Let my people go. You know, our world has changed a lot in 50 years or even 40 years. 40 years. You hear people, listen to them. Listen to people say 40 years ago. This has been going on for 40 years. This has been going on for 50 years. Why hasn't it been changed? Because the good ones that come along that want to make the change and free the people, they want to kill them. They want to get rid of them. They want to silence them. And I tell y'all, if you can go look this movie up that's out right now, it's about Flynn, Mike Flynn, and what they did to him. I was so angry when I got through watching it and what was done to him. This is a good man. Because when I'm watching that, I'm thinking of my father who served 21 years in the military, had a good record, really cared about soldiers and all this. And here's this Mike Flynn that was doing everything because he didn't want wars. He didn't want this. He didn't want that. He wanted to show where something here they could end all this. And I'll use a fine example. If countries are always warring, right? They're never going to succeed. It's like a marriage. If you're constantly in a war with your spouse or in your partnership in a business and you're constantly warring, it's not going to succeed. Right? Common sense. If you're having to struggle every day, you shouldn't have to struggle every day to get along. There can be changes. But when there's so much hatred, or trying to repress the other because of what you believe is, like I said, you believe what you want. I believe what I want. I won't encroach on you. You don't encroach on me. I'm not asking you to change your values. I'm just trying to get you to wake up. And I'm telling you, this is the time to wake your mind up. If you want to have success, you've got to be proactive. You've got to activate your mind. You've got to get rid of old bad habits from lessons you've learned. Quit taking the same test over and over again. Quit failing it. I want to see you succeed. I want to see everybody succeed. Having those good relationships, having those good jobs, getting the great education, really acing everything. And it's only going to happen if you awaken and you go to that next level. And this is your chance. Don't let the door close. Don't let it close. Now the moon, since this is the 9th, okay, at 1:26. Well, we only got 4 minutes till 1:26 in my time, right here where I'm at. The moon now moves into Sagittarius. And this is when the first quarter of the moon that's going to happen on the 11th. Get out of the trap. Quit struggling. You don't have to. God is telling you that you can change everything. You can be reborn. You don't have to be controlled anymore. You can release the chains that bond you into something here. Now, the next important day that's going to happen is 2 days from now, which is going to be on September the 11th. We've got the first quarter of the moon, and it's like magic. We do have 3 challenges on that day. The first one we have, it has to do with Mars. Are you going to take the action? Has to do with this South Node and Lilith. That Mars is challenging Lilith. Okay? There could be a fight on this day. I'm just warning you about the past. Something coming up from the past. But stand and face this. Don't run from it. Stand your ground and say, no, I'm not taking that test again. I've learned that lesson. Ain't going back to that no more. because I want to gain something here. I don't want to go through those trials and tribulations anymore. I'm done. I want a whole new life. And this is going over here to your future. This is your opportunity right here, right now, to stand to something and say, I'm going to fight for my future. I'm not going to be oppressed anymore. I'm not going to be told how I should feel. This is the first quarter moon. This is where you plant the seed and say, I am going to explore what it is I want here. And I am going to change my life. I'm going to set my intentions right now in this moment in time to stand and face anything where there is a challenge that is challenging me. I'm not running from it anymore. If I don't like it, I'm going to say, I don't like it. No, this ain't what I want for my future. I want more. I deserve more. I don't deserve any less. And the good thing is when you look at that person and ask them, would you settle for less? Guarantee they'll tell you no. Mm-mm. I want a good path for my future. And I am driven for it. Now, this is where this energy is going to get more intense now. But believe you me, there's going to be something there that's going to try and tear you down. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. And this moon is going to be, ow, ow. These things hurt my ears. This is going to be at 2:06 a.m. Take away the 4 hours to get your time from my time. And say, no, I don't think so. Some of you may be asleep. Some of you may be awake. Maybe in the evening for some of you. But I'm going to tell you, something magical is happening. It sure is. You've got another T-square here. Has to deal with the apex being at the sun. Sun to the moon. And look where the ascending is at. It's in the house of the moon. So something here is trying to keep you from healing. Don't let it. Don't let it. Trying to keep you from setting your intentions. It's going to tell you that opposition with the moon to the sun. I mean, to Jupiter. Because Jupiter is looking at the moon being over here. And it's like, oh, you going to set intentions? Something is trying to hold you back. And I'm telling you, and I've been saying this for some time, we're in a spiritual war, whether you know it or not. Something doesn't want you to succeed. And I'm not going to say someone, because it may be, but you better analyze what's going on, because this Mercury is now using the energy of Vista. And what is Vista? Let's show that one. Let's bring it up. You want to know what Vista is? Oh, wait a minute. What is showing that I don't want to show? There you go. I know. Okay. All right. This is something where you aspire your plans and your goals. It shows where you have a spiritual like devotion to a cause, a project, a person, a place, or whatever it is, or a belief that is sacred to you. And your mind, if you're awakening it, you have this opportunity here now to build that new foundation. It's the keeper of the spiritual flame. Whatever is deep in your spirit that says, and it's sort of a feminine energy, and it's a creative energy that allows you to dedicate yourself to an aspiration. And where's the moon setting at? What your plans are. You're setting your intentions for your goals. And you're going to spiritually be dedicated to that goal, to that cause, to that project, that person, or that belief that is so sacred to you. That's what Vista is. And Mercury is joining with that energy. To help heal. Look at the moon and the sun, 19. Jupiter's at 20. There's one thing here. There's something trying to intercede to keep you from healing. That wants you to stay in the place where you're at. That wants to keep you in bondage. And the only thing that is you. What you allow to be enslaved in. If you're living back 200 years ago, and that's what your life's all about, and you didn't live back there, you didn't face the challenges of those from the past, you didn't go through what they went through, why are you carrying that? That is not you to carry. You're free to do, to succeed. That is not your heritage. That was theirs. But it was lessons for you to learn. Stop enslaving yourself. Get out of it. Let it go. Break the bondage. Do not let 200 years ago keep you enslaved into your identity. Heal. It's time to heal the wound. You can take this journey and be very successful at it, as long as you don't let yourself be enslaved. If you don't quit taking the same test over and over and over again. Now we have the sun in opposition to Saturn retrograde. What is holding you back? What are you allowing to limit you? What trials and tribulations are you going through that you're hanging on to? Okay? Stop it. We're talking about Jupiter, Saturn, Jupiter, and Jupiter. You need to start looking toward your future and claiming your own identity, creating your own drive, your own ambition. Quit living years ago. Whatever my ancestors were, they're gone. They're not here. I'm not going to be enslaved into something from the past. There used to be a saying too, the sins of the father. Why? That's his sin, not mine. I can free myself from it. I can release that. I can heal it. I can get rid of those trials and tribulations. I can, I can heal my own wounds. Heal thyself. Look at the moon. It's at 19 degrees 0. Look at the sun, 19 degrees 0. 19 is about healing. It's faith. It's like royalty and gold. What are those? Royalty looks at you as a precious material, a reality. And the royalty of the Most High, you're a precious thing to that royalty, to the Most High. He don't want you to live in bondage and slavery. It's time to free yourself. And he tells you, I give you the authority to heal, to break your chains that enslave you. You have the free will to say, that's not me. You can think what you want to think. I don't care, but I know that's not me. I mean, it's simple. But there's something here in this mystical rectangle. That's why I said we're in a spiritual war. It's mystical, I mean, it's unknown. That there's this opposition to Jupiter. Why would I would have to still go through some kind of trials and tribulations? Why is something keeping me from healing? Why can't I gain something here? Because I'm allowing whatever Saturn is limiting and restricting me, some authority that does not have any power over me. And I'm not going to surrender my power and my identity to those that think they can label me to who I am. Don't call me racist. I'm not racist. Don't call me a bigot. I'm not bigot. Don't call me, I mean, there's so many other things I can think of, but I'm not those things. Just because your life's going to hell, I didn't have anything to do with that. Remember, God gave you free will. You to choose to what you want to do. If you want to have children, fine. If you don't, that's fine. But take the precautions not to be able to have children. And if women are so stupid that you don't know that there's a thermometer out there with a big chart that you can take a thermometer and stick it in your mouth for 5 minutes in the morning, and if your body temperature's up, you can mark it on that chart that your body temperature has begun to go up, you're ovulating. Educate yourself. And as long as that temperature is up, you can get pregnant. You don't have to take birth control. Get the thermometer. Every pharmacist knows where it is. It's called an ovulation thermometer. And when it starts to go down, then guess what? You're not ovulating anymore. Give it a few days. You want to go out there and act like a fool and sleep with everything out in the world, or you think you can entrap a man, because that relationships don't work either. Do not set your intentions. Do not get caught in this trap. Okay? There is a spiritual war going on that's trying to keep you in some place that you don't need to be anymore. And you're allowing it to happen. Set your intentions for your future that I am not going to stay in these places. I'm not going to keep taking these same tests again. I'm not going to keep repeating these same lessons again. It's done. I'm not going to stay enslaved to something here. There's always, whatever problem is, there's a solution. Now, what also happens on the 11th is the moon is T-squaring Neptune. Told you. And look at the degrees here. The moon's at 28 degrees, 45 minutes in. Neptune's 28 degrees, 45 minutes in. It's feminine energy, right? What do we talk about? Vesta. Something's trying to stop you from reaching your goal. And we've got a grand cross here, but it ain't a good one. Is there going to be a repeat of something here? Of something evil? We've already been warned that something's coming. Something's going to try and stop this. Like I said, 28 is an end of a cycle. It is the grand cycle. This is only the 10th day of the moon. It's the 13th hour. That's negativity. Look where Jupiter is. Look where Mars is. Mars is sitting in Cancers. And the moon is getting ready to go into detriment. It's already feeling it. Because something is in its house. That's trying to create dissension. This is on Wednesday. And it's at about 8 o'clock at night. And the night is being ruled by the sun, which is in opposition to Saturn. And the hour is the sun. It's to bring something to light. Something of what is being done here. And if somebody has to deal with Mercury, that is conjunct with Vesta. Remember, I said spiritual. Something here very spiritual. 48 hours. So this is the week that this portal is opening. There's 40 hours in a week, right? In a work day. 48 hours is what? 3 days is what? 36? 4 days? Doesn't want you to ascend. Doesn't want you to level up. Doesn't want you to be consciously aware. Don't want you to be dedicated to your aspirations, your goals. It's trying to keep you from obtaining it. And that midheaven sitting there is about as above, so below. And look what is time. It's at 5. 5 and 28. Take it and reverse it without the 40. 5 is a thing of grace, gifts, and love. Something above is trying to show you something here in your foundation, as above, so below. That here on earth, we need to have that love. We need to deal with things of caring about one another. But what this is showing me is there's something spiritual that does not want you to care. It wants you to fight. It wants to start a war with you. It wants to cut away your ambitions and your goals and your dreams and what you aspire for. And it's in the dark, but it's the hour of the sun. And the sun is going to show you that trial and tribulation that's trying to hold you back. It's trying to keep you from succeeding. Now, 15 degrees, that has to deal with Saturn at 44 minutes in. That's a doubling with 44. But there's something here that's trying to confine you, holding you, trying to hold you back, limit you from leading, letting go, releasing. There's something hidden. 15 is a number of 10 plus 5 is something. 10 with the law. 5 is grace, which is that midheaven. It says down here, you need to show love, gifts, your talents, what you have. And the grace. Yeah, I'm not going to fight with you, but I'll face you and I'll show you love. And I'll show you grace, but you won't succeed. That is the mindset you need to take. That's where you level up. That's where you ascend up to a higher place. And nothing could come against you. But there's something here that's hidden in the law is grace. Remember, I said 10 being the law, 5 being grace. And what is hidden is 15. What's hidden there is grace. Marriage, love, male and female. I'm telling you, there is a thing where evil don't want people to be married. They don't want people having children. Why do you think they're pushing this abortion thing? And if it's my body, my right, well, get off your big butt or your skinny butt or whatever butt you got. Go to your local pharmacy and or even ask Planned Parenthood, do y'all have ovulation thermometers? I bet you they ain't got no one in there. They'd rather, oh, well, we can give you a prescription for birth control. Why do you want to put something like that in your body? When you can chart your own ovulation through an ovulation thermometer with a graph. That's how I got pregnant the second time. I had difficulties getting pregnant. I went to the best specialist. Even for a short period of time, took the drug because I didn't know any better at the time. But all of a sudden I found out and I learned, and somebody mentioned it to me, and I thought, well, I never heard anything like that before. I'm telling you. And that is how I got pregnant with my daughter. She was planned. And I had that little chart up on my wall. I laid in bed for 5 minutes. When I woke up, had that little thermometer on my nightstand, got up, popped it in my mouth, sat there for 5 minutes, took my temperature, timed it, got up, ran to the bathroom real quick, come back, wrote it on the chart. Okay, I'm not ovulating today. But then all of a sudden I saw when my temperature went up. And I knew when I was ovulating. And then all of a sudden I found out my temperature didn't drop anymore. It stayed up. I was pregnant. That's when I knew to go get a pregnancy test. And I did. And I took it. And it showed positive. I went to my doctor. Showed positive. It was a thermometer that told me I was ovulating and that I was pregnant. So I knew from the moment of during those times I conceived. There would be no more, who's the daddy? Okay? Because whoever you're with on that day, you know. Something here. And, you know, if you're going out with different guys, You don't have a right to worry about your body. I'm sorry. I don't care. I mean, I'm fed up with it. And this is evil here. This is evil tent. And I'm telling you, if somebody comes on this day at this time in the evening and wants to argue with you or wants to start a fight with you, what is there? Have grace. Show them your gifts. Hey, and show them love. Okay. Don't give in to it because that's what the darkness wants. Wants you to fight, wants you to argue, doesn't want you to show grace. It wants you to attack something, throw the knives. Use your mind. And this is the time right now that I'm saying the consciousness. Because if you make it through this hell week, and that's what I'm talking about, it's hell week. You ever heard it in college? Hell week. You're either going to be initiated into the dark side or you're going to be initiated in a higher level of consciousness. And you ain't going back. You won't go back. And I'm just going to show you the aspects of that day. Do you see it? You see it? T square, T square, T square, T square, T square. How many you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What does that say? You better have handled this with grace and love and the gifts of dignity. Don't let yourself get pulled into something because all this is putting all these squares and these challenges are coming at you at one time. Boom. There you go. It's wanting you to fight. When all you got to do is kind of put your foot down and say, "No, I'm not going. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not going through those lessons again. I've been there. I'm more concerned about the future. If you want to stay in the past, you stay in the past. I want a future, and I'm willing to fight for it. I want a better life. I want to gain more than what I've got now." And look at this grand cross. It's the two T squares back to back. Look what they are facing here. Look what they're facing here. It's about your future. What is to come? It's about the moon being in detriment. Women, do not. You better handle things with grace as God created a woman with grace. He chose a woman to carry the son of his son because she had grace and she had gifts and she was full of love. You better be that woman and say, no, nah, I'm setting my intentions right now that I'm aspiring to go into the future in a better way. I'm not fighting. It's like I said, it's that best stuff, that combined energy with your mind. Don't let yourself get trapped and baited into something here. Don't let something rob you of your aspirations, your plans, and your goals. Show that devotion to whatever the cause, whatever the project is, whatever the person or whatever belief you have, but handle it with grace and dignity and love. And show that this is important to me. It's very sacred to me. And if you can't understand that, then I'm sorry. But this is where I'm at now in my life. Then the moon ingresses into Capricorn. We have Yod again. God's trying to show us something again. Something about our future. As above, so below. And look what the apex is. Right there on Vesta. If you handle this right, you're going to be rewarded and blessed in more ways than you can count. Yes, because there's dealing with the challenges that you are overcoming. And you're going to receive the blessings that you deserve. You're going to be rewarded because you have overcome what has tried to pull you down and steal from you what is yours. Your authority, your power, your dreams, your imaginations, all of it. Don't let it happen. Now, we go 3 days later on the 14th. And the moon is now going to come into conjunction with Pluto. Both of them are at 29 degrees, 49 minutes. You see a grand trine. Ugh, I love it. Whatever you're doing right now at this point in time, nothing can come against you. Why? Because the moon is in a void of course of void. Meaning anything you're doing, nothing can come against you. This is the transformation. You are allowed to change and transform your identity by the hand of God with His grace and His love and bestow on you the gifts that you deserve. It's simple. Taking your power back, changing your identity, not going through the trials and tribulations anymore. Moving on, not carrying the dirty laundry around with you. We have a T-square here. There's still something that's trying to stop you. And there's something you may have to just say, okay, I'm done. I'm done. We're not going in the same direction, so I'm done. You don't have love for me. All you want to do is fight and argue. You want to backstab because look where Mars is at. You know, this is the house of home, family. It's at 5. Grace, gifts, love. That's what we should be showing in our home. Not fighting and arguing. And where is it? Mars is in the decant of Venus here. Exaltation. And where's Venus sitting at? It's over here in the 2 social planets of Saturn and Jupiter. Opposing healing. Struggling with the give and take. That's what a square is. It's fighting for something. The give and take. Ending something that just keeps going on and on and on. People fight over the same thing all the time. Stop it. Let it go. That's what wars are like. That's why they go on for 20 years, 30 years. Because people just don't want to let it go. We're supposed to be living together in brotherhood and sisterhood as a family of one, the world. We all got to live on this planet. And like I said, there's something mystical going on. Look at it. It's right there. You see it? It's like one big empty square. There's nothing there. And then there's something that's still trying to fight, keep you in the past, don't want you to go toward the future, where you can have a very happy spiritual life You can ascend to that higher place. To identify yourself. There's something very ugly out there in this in the realm. It's trying to keep you from doing that. But you've got to realize it, that it's there. And it's about your future. Descending at 7 degrees, north node at 7 degrees, south node at 7 degrees, which they're always the same degrees. But look at here, 10. There's something in the law. Something going on here. Something does not want to see you succeed. But we have a kite here. And look at the trine. Kite makes up of a trine and a smaller, and with, I want to say it's a trine, a good place. For changing something here. And it's supported by something. And it's your dreams, because to me, sextiles are like being supported in some way to have that success, to go toward the success, to resolve something, to reconcile something here, to review it, restructure it, reorganize it. Whatever this dream or goal you have, or this imagination of something you want to achieve or accomplish, do it. See where there's possibilities that you can correct things. It's almost like I said, I watch podcasts and I see the podcast and I'm thinking, oh, I like their message. I like what they're saying. But there's something they don't know about the streaming that could even make their channel even better. And so why not do that to make it even better? But they just don't know. There's a chance for productivity and success between these interpersonal planets. Remember what I said about Vedic astrology? It does not use Uranus. It does not use Pluto. It does not use Neptune. It looks at the transpersonal planets as Saturn and Jupiter that influence the internal of Venus, Mars, the moon, Mercury, and our identity. I don't know how they can cut them out. I mean, they're very useful to know what they're about. And you're headed that direction to a new identity. That's what you're creating here. That's what you're trying to inspire. Imagine a new identity where you can live in this harmony and peace with yourself more than anything. And when you do that and you're zooming it out to others, that, hey, they look at you and it's like, I even had a guy a long time back. I must have been probably close to almost a year now, that looked at me one point and says, I just saw this glow around you. He approached me. I'm in a restaurant. I'm making an order at a fast food place. The manager's doing his thing. And I noticed he kept looking at me, and I would, and I didn't think nothing about it. And me and my mother went down and sat down, and all of a sudden he approached me and came out to me. He said, he said, I just got to tell you. And he just wanted to give me this message. He said, I see such an aurora around you, such a glow around you. He said, I just was drawn to you. And that was the time that I was finding the most peaceful calmness in my life. And apparently it was shining. And wouldn't it be best to go around in that with that glow and that shine? Now the moon is going to ingress into Aquarius, and it's time to move forward. We still have a trine here. We have a grand trine. And even though there's a T square, there's still something about this, Somebody may still be in some kind of disagreement with you, but you've got to stand up and say, no, no. And this is the last day of the week. So if you can get through this point, these 48 hours of what's going to transpire, that's 2 days, isn't it? 2 days, 48 hours. Wait a minute. There's 24 hours in a day. Yes, that's 48 hours. 2 days. It's 40 hours in a work week. But if you can get through these 48 hours, these 2 days that are happening, especially when that Grand Cross comes about on the 11th, you're going to ascend. You're going to be rewarded. And look what it's doing. Look at this Grand Triumph. It is this lot of fortune, which I will show you the meaning of that. Some people call it lot of fortune. Some people call it the part of fortune. Okay. And what its meaning is. It's an astrological chart that is a calculated mathematical based on, what is it? The positions of the sun, the moon, and the ascendant. So you go from sun to moon, wherever the ascendant is. And I'm kind of looking at a yod here myself. And it's going to the moon and this Pluto, this transformation. Change. Because you're overcoming something from the past to benefit your life or your future. Okay? Hold on 1 minute. Uh-oh, I hit the wrong thing. Sorry about that. All right. So that's the last day of the week on this week. And like I said, we have a T-square. You can see that right here. Again, this combination that you're going to have to stand your ground spiritually here. Your devotion to your goals, your aspirations, your dreams, whatever they may be. I'm not taking the test anymore. I've done dealt with it. It's the lessons I've done learned. And it's in opposition to your future. If you want to sit here and keep staying in this, you're not healing. You're not gaining. It's time for you to know that in the law, there is grace. And this is where you're going to have to really have grace and stand strong. Stand on that ground. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Because, like I said, we're in a spiritual battle. We're in a spiritual war. If you want to win this is how you can win it. Take the path that Christ took. Grace and love and forgiveness and releasing. And remember, when he wasn't wanted somewhere, he left. I'm going to stand there and argue with these fools. There's nothing he could have said to him that would have made any difference. They would have to see for themselves. And it was through his works and through our works that shows our grace and our love and our forgiveness. And I would rather walk that path than something that somebody wants to take me down a dark, ugly looking path that I am miserable for the rest of my life. Is that what you want? Like I said, y'all share the video. I'm so happy that you came here. I hope you learned something from this. Like I said, I'm not the same. I'm different. It's not a path that I sort of chose. It was something that was guiding me. And I was curious enough to go down there and say, okay, what is this? What is this I'm feeling? What is this I'm getting? I don't understand it. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go there. I'll find out what it is. And I did. Something I had been battling for years, that I was not ready to surrender because I felt so unworthy to surrender to it. And I was wrong. And if that's what you feel, you're wrong. You are not unworthy at all. You're just not awake. You don't know. You don't know how beautiful life can be. And you don't know how your perspective can change. And the minute it does, and the minute you open up to it and let go of all that ugliness and all that dirtiness and clean yourself and become and rebirth, reborn. And it's through being saved and accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. That's salvation. Baptism is something I fought for years. I just didn't feel worthy. I was afraid I'd backslide. I'd do wrong. Now, it's not that you're ever never going to sin again. You're going to make mistakes, but you can ask for forgiveness. And it's a beautiful life. And the minute I did that, I looked out at the world and the colors just seemed so vivid. My look at things changed completely. I didn't need any dependence and this and that, you know. And even with all the health issues I got, it's like you can still do things. You're not totally dependent on others to do what you need to do. You can do it. You just have to do it in a different way. There's people with disabilities every day that they live with it and they do things, amazing things, but they find the ability to what the solution is holding them back. I think we ought to have a love handicap day, really. So anyway, I'm glad y'all joined me. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And I need to get back to the tarot readings. And like I said, I hope you join me with those as well. And I hope you got something out of this. Like I said, please share the link, share the information with others. Show them how they can turn their life around, how they can make life better, how they can receive blessing after blessing after blessing. It's not that hard. It's not. It's really not. It's just a conscious choice you got to make. And are you willing to make that choice? Again, I'd like to ask you to please, if you are a subscriber here, if you would, give the video a thumbs up. I know I see people watching the videos and, I might get 25 people watch the video and then only get 5 likes. Help me to grow by giving these likes. Give it a thumbs up. That's how you support me. That's how you support the channel. I'm not asking you to donate money. I'm just telling you that's how you can support the channel and support me and what I'm doing. And if it's helping you and it's helping others, and you're out there to take this message and go give it to someone else, and it feeds on and on and on, and it grows and grows and grows, isn't that a wonderful thing? Isn't that a beautiful thing? So if you would, and you can share the link to the video to others, and newcomers, you're welcome. I love newcomers. I love meeting new people. I like conversating with new people, uh, getting to know them, making new friends. And please consider subscribing to the channel. That can also help grow the channel as well. And also, once you click the subscribe and you check it, okay, also go over there to the bell, click on it, make sure you get the notifications so that way you'll know when I'm uploading something new. All right, that it's out there. I hope to do an actual live feed. Right now, I'm kind of in a crunch that I have to get these out. I know I've got comments. I need to go back and address them. I'm not ignoring you guys, your comments or anything. I'm like in this bubble that I want to hurry and get this stuff done. I want to get it out there to you, all the information you need. Okay. So please check out, the, videos. All right. I love you guys. Take care, and I will see you later.